It's been a bit of a shock. However much one tries to prepare oneself for something like this, it's still
A decision made behind closed doors at Windsor changed everything. No cameras. No public warning. No chance for Queen Camilla to defend what she believed was already hers. Inside Windsor Lodge, Prince Edward signed a document that would alter the future of one of the royal family's most prized residences. But the greatest surprise was not that Camilla lost her claim. It was the name written beneath Edward's signature, Lady Louise Windsor. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Prestige Buzz, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal stories. For Prince Edward, Windsor Lodge represented stability, family, and continuity. For Camilla, it symbolized acceptance within the monarchy after years of struggle. For Lady Louise, it was a responsibility she never expected to receive. When Louise arrived and learned that the property would remain under her control, her first reaction was not celebration. She simply asked, "What will Camilla lose?" Edward answered directly. The Queen Consort's claim had been removed, and the decision could not be reversed. Louise was troubled. She did not want a home gained through another woman's humiliation. But Edward insisted that this was not revenge. It was protection. According to him, the decision had begun long before the documents were signed. Months earlier, during a private memorial event honoring Queen Elizabeth II, Louise had been asked to read a passage chosen by her late grandmother. The ceremony was meant to celebrate quiet service within the royal family. But shortly before the event began, Louise's reserved seat was removed and replaced by someone connected to Camilla's household. When Louise politely questioned the change, she was reportedly told that royal life required knowing when to step aside. Edward witnessed the entire exchange. To him, it was not simply about a chair. It was about his daughter being pushed aside during an event that held deep personal meaning. Later, Edward discovered that Camilla's office had been making plans to establish a long-term presence at Windsor Lodge. The property was no longer just a residence. It had become part of a larger struggle over influence and legacy. Edward asked Camilla to reconsider. She refused. Their private meeting became tense. Camilla argued that the needs of King Charles's reign had changed and that her family deserved a secure place within royal life. Edward disagreed. He believed the lodge should remain connected to Queen Elizabeth II's vision of quiet service rather than expanding influence. The final decision eventually reached King Charles. He reviewed the documents and discovered that the transfer had been carefully prepared. Reports indicated that Princess Anne supported the arrangement, believing Lady Louise embodied the values Queen Elizabeth admired. One phrase reportedly written by the late Queen stood out: "Service without ambition." For Edward and Anne, those words described Louise perfectly. Charles realized overturning the decision would not only create a family crisis but also challenge his mother's wishes. In the end, he allowed the transfer to stand. As the news spread, public attention exploded. Headlines described it as a dramatic clash within the royal family. But Louise refused to treat Windsor Lodge as a victory. Instead, she announced that the property would honor Queen Elizabeth's values and support charitable work connected to military families, young people, and public service. Her decision transformed the story. It was no longer about winners and losers. Camilla eventually accepted the outcome. During a final private visit, she collected personal belongings and quietly left the residence behind. Louise offered compassion without surrender. Edward protected his daughter. Charles accepted the limits of his authority. And Camilla accepted a boundary she could not change. In the end, Windsor Lodge became more than a royal residence. It became a symbol of duty, humility, and service. Perhaps the greatest lesson from this story is that the future of the monarchy may not belong to those who seek power the most, but to those who quietly serve without expecting anything in return. Thank you for watching Prestige Buzz. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss our future updates.